all know that if you study a little bit more for the test, you're probably going to do better than somebody that did not study for the test, right? Common sense. But did you know, according to recent research out of Science Direct, non-cognitive skills such as grit and perseverance are strong indicators of academic success. And so should we be looking to more emotional and behavioral and training and building resilience in our children, in ourselves, when it comes to even just academic success, instead of just sitting there and memorizing the 50 presidents, right? Or however many at this point. It seems like we're missing the big picture here in this regard. And let's talk about how much of genetics and how much of working hard, according to some research over the past 30 years, correlates to working memory, right? Well, that's basically a form of short-term memory, things you keep on the forefront of your mind, like a little notepad you have in there. I got to do this. You know, I got to talk to you guys about this stuff I got to remember. Working memory, right? Things in Super, you improve that, like creatine. But how much for working memory? The variance in job performance and general performance when it comes to children and in academic success. Okay, well, over the past 30 years, cumulative research done on tons and tons of people has shown that in terms of working memory, 50% of someone's ability to keep something on the forefront of their mind and remember something and keep it in there and get it out is due to intentional practice, okay? Deliberate practice, you can say, or repetition. And 7% is due to ability or genetics, right? And so that other 43% is a combination of, therefore, practice and genetics. Ittekinge et al. Back in 2018 found that in regards to the variance in job performance, ability, natural ability, so your natural genetic capabilities, was to account for 60%. They said motivation, 31%. And they said ability combined with motivation, 9%. But this is very flawed. Ability and motivation together are necessary to achieve a task, to perform better in a job, right? And so we don't currently agree with that mindset. Back in 1996, Fox et al. Showed that in terms of general performance in these children that they genetically tested, those who were more genetically gifted actually were outperformed by those who were less genetically gifted, who practiced a lot more, in simple, right? Without getting into all these fine details of these studies. And so what does that tell us? It tells us that not only does effort count twice, that I attribute that quote to Rob Maloney, one of my best friends, my brother for life. He has a great podcast, Heart and Hard Work, if you want to check it out. Again, it's Heart and Hard Work. It's really great motivational podcast, good information. He says effort counts twice. And I think he's right, but I think that's even an underestimation. I mean, effort counts a lot more than your genetics. And you look at things in general in life. You look at Alzheimer's disease now. They thought so much was attributed to genetics way back when, even in the last 10 years ago, right? To having specific genes and variants. And really, it's probably like 15% at the most genetic. It's all environmental. Cancer is extremely environmental, albeit you can be more genetically predisposed. Somebody gets skin cancer, what happens, right? Well, there's UVB rays coming in. They're damaging your DNA. They literally fragment your DNA. And you have these tiny little biological machines that go in there and repair your DNA. They repair it. And eventually these mechanisms fail. But they're more likely to work well if, of course, you don't abuse yourself and be out in the sun for 400 million hours, right? You get a sunburn. It's like a physical sign. Your body's like, we had enough of this, right? We got plenty of vitamin D at this point. But because maybe there are other aspects to their health and environmental factors, key word is environment, that are affecting how these little biological machines are working. Your memory, your intelligence, you can form. You form it with repetition. Effort counts 1,000-fold, I think. Maybe 1,000's a lot, but way more than your genetics. So don't ever count yourself out and think, oh, and just, naturally I'm not good at this. And now this isn't to say that genetic predisposition in terms of natural affinities should be catered to in our children, in our youth, and in ourselves in general. You have a natural knack for something, let's roll our child, that is that snowball, down a good path and let it pick up what it may along that path naturally, and bolster them with practice and more knowledge and training in the art, and they'll probably be very successful in that, right? But it goes so much further than the pure science of genetics, guys. Stop chalking things up to genetics. People say that all the time with weightlifting, with working out. You got great genetics, your genetics are good. I work my fucking balls off. That's why I look good. That's what it is. And I don't care if anyone says, but that's the truth. That's the truth. I can remember things and talk about it on When Wellness because I study every day. Since I started When Wellness to now, I can read something in much shorter time now, even compared to my whole collegiate career, including grad school, because of all the studying every day. I can read something now and say, 10 minutes, type it out, whatever, notes on my phone. That's always where I write it. And it'd be better if I hand wrote it, but whatever. I have the phone right there. And I'll remember it. And then I can talk to you guys about it. Remember, I couldn't do that years ago. I'd be tripping up left and right. I wouldn't have that same ability. That's not inherent within me. That's not genetics. You're not no one's naturally any smarter than anyone else. It's what your natural affinities are and how you are guided towards them early in life, and how much you give a shit, how much you practice. So the next time you're going to count yourself out, or you look at your child and you say, look, just memorize your history or memorize how to do this in math. Of course, a general understanding of why things are what they are and how they work is extremely important in their academic success. But the repetition, the hard work, and instilling principles you may not have considered are related to academic success. These principles of building grit and perseverance and resilience are so much more important than we had thought. I think in school personally, and one day my dream, I get the chills when I say this because this is from the bottom of my heart. My dream is to open a school of health, a school of When Wellness, and to teach kids for free. To make enough money that I can open a school and I can hire other professors, or I can teach them every subject that I can for free. And we would start our day with exercise. We would start our day with physical exercise and mental exercise. They would get there, they'd be able to go outside, we'd have them playing games, go run around nuts for an hour, maybe even two, get all your energy out. I'd be shocked if these kids had ADHD, right? I'd be shocked if they couldn't pay attention after that. And maybe they're so excited they want to keep playing and whatever. Excitement knows no fatigue, right? As we always say here at When Wellness. But, it's amazing how unhealthy this curriculum is that is teaching our children and what we preach. And they don't even know anything about nutrition. They don't know anything about nutrition. What course in school tells you how and physiology, how your heart works? How your lungs work, why oxygen helps you to think, how repetition is so important. Make them do hard things. Do something hard, and then everything is easy for you. Everything after that is easy for you. Do you think you could go to a Navy SEAL and you could shake them? Good luck. Good luck trying to shake a freaking Navy SEAL. These people go through the most insane training, and guess what? It has nothing to do with pure knowledge. It's the resilience that's been built within them. Challenging tasks. That Sudoku, that chess goes so much further for your mind and your ability to do well in school. They show higher grades in kids, underdeveloped, countries or communities where, these kids, they play chess, they had poor grades and their grades improve, especially in math and science. And there's no secret. We have to change how these kids respond to stress and ourselves and make it so that everything is easy for them, right? Build them strong internally, disregarding all the specific variables, train them better to deal with any variables, anything that life throws at you, because all of life, every situation in life, what I'm looking at right now, these leaves will never be blowing the same. The sun, the way everything is right now, that bird chirping over there you can't hear, but I can. It's beautiful. You know, we'll never be the same. Every situation in life is unique, so we need to train ourselves to better deal with unique situations, and I think this is another great example of that in what we saw here in what I read today on Science Direct. So that's what I got for you guys today. I hope it motivates you to challenge yourself in a healthy manner and to realize that things are not all that tough, that you shouldn't worry all that much about these silly things in life that will soon become easy for you if you test yourself now and frequently, right? So let's see what we got on here. What's up? All pumped up to start the day. My patients, I'm going to be like, come on the table. Let's test your brain resilience. What's 12 plus 9 plus something? JK, you're not going to freak anyone out. And Panico, what's up? Taylor, Antonio, Playmount, Ash. Hello, beautiful lady. The Syringe, Johnny, Arrogance. Andre. Malcolm, what's up? Okay. Nat, what's up, Natty girl? How's your super duper you blueberry lemon treating you? Probably great. Feels awesome. Took some super duper you this morning, as you can tell. That helped my memory as well, I'll say. NYC hike, Brian and Lisa Peterson. Morgan, I think that's the first time seeing you on here. Well, thank you very much for coming on. I hope you got something out of this. I hope you're all pumped up to have a great day. And as for now, so we got for you folks. We'll see you tomorrow, baby. Not sure where, not sure when, but we'll see you then. Have an amazing rest of your day. Happy Wend Wellness. We'll see you soon.